Okay, we are now on part 2 of how we can build rain aids a little bit different than from traditional training where we shape with escalating pressure, and why it's not necessarily negative reinforcement just because we actually use rain aids or tack or anything that looks, like it always have done. It can be built with positive reinforcement, and we actually need to know, that goes for all behavior, how was this behavior created. Last time we did create the behavior via mats, and if you have not watched that part, maybe you should, before watching this. But you see a little bit of, yeah, we used two doormats to create a movement between the mats that is creating a shoulder movement. As you see, shoulder movement forward and back, that is what we did last time. And what we build on, that's where we come from. Where we want to go, yeah, we want to influence the shoulders. We don't actually need reins to do that, but reins are good for many reasons to have, and super useful. However, we do well in always checking, like, how is this working in Liberty? Can we influence the horse? That gives me valuable feedback. How are my aids actually working? And as I do here, just a little shoulder 4 in trot. Are you actually strong enough for us to proceed? Can you do this? If I'm gonna add load, that's me sitting on my horse, I want to know that they are reasonably strong to be able to do so. So that's not like, can you do it? Well, yes, I know you can do it from the ground. So if something goes really wrong, then I know where to look, which is, I mean, it's me in 90% of the cases anyway. But that's also valuable to check. Not only do my horse understand the aids without the mats, but also are they strong enough? That's a little bit of what I want to know. And we said a little bit last time, go check the behavior in different environments. That's often where I go first. I'm gonna hear, like, with the support of the mat, we are outside my horse's paddock and just checking out, hey, how does this work? Here, Tiny. Well, it works really well. I recognize these mats, and I also have the support of my hand cue here that I worked with on the first video. And yeah, okay, we can do it here. Okay, great. He's working very much with the influence of the mat here, which I like. That's something I really like. Later on, I also want him to be able to wait a little bit more for me and my cue. Here we have the neck rope, but it's the same shoulder movement that we have worked with, and he is waiting a lot more on my influence instead of the mats initiating the behavior. So that's also a little bit different in how we can start to think about building behaviors with positive reinforcement, reward based. Yes, it's a matter of what dialect the trainer have, but I love to work with the environment and the horse that can read the room, so to speak, and know what exercise are we doing here before they are really sure about the rain aids and stuff like that. Working with the environment is super nice. So I always have like a strong face of that, and I always also am the first to go back to the initial behavior where it was built. Here you see Nayag. We struggled a little bit here with him understanding the outside rain aid. And here I'm coming. Here you see. Okay, how can we fix that? Well, maybe we can go and get a mat. So here, the outside shoulder comes towards the mat. That's the behavior I'm looking for. And it's like easy to backtrack what you want. And like, this is what I want. Here I have everything I need. And then, okay, he can physically do it. Now I know that. And then I can just start to refine a little bit the cue, my Rein aid, that this is what it actually meant, you know. So as I said, that building it like this gives us a backtracking system, so we do not need to rely on escalating pressure for giving our horses information about where to put specific body parts. How we set up the environment helps us do that. So a huge difference from earlier, I must say, and something, yeah, we need to be a bit creative about it, and that can take time in the beginning. But I feel the opportunities are endless when it comes to this, and you can get really nice fine-tuned reactions to your Rein aids, even if you haven't used escalating pressure to build them. So here, Frody, I mean, he's an icy, so I mean, him doing a half pass is actually physically was kind of hard for him here in this video. So from that point of view too, a super nice reaction. Here we see my right rein. We're gonna watch it again. You see, I let it fall down on the shoulder so he feels it a little bit there, and try to give him the idea of, hey, do you feel the rain aid here? And if we built our rain aids really well with the association towards going to the mat or searching for something in the environment, they can be super nuanced, and the association with our reward as well, with the food that we give them, is creating a super nice setup for being very fine-tuned in the end. And here we see, of course, a long reining. Super fond of using long reining also as a strong transfer transition. I'm working from lunge position, long reining position. I'm working from in front of the horse, me backing, and I'm working on the side of the horse. I'm gonna often, when I want to teach my horse a specific aid, I'm gonna go through, not only am I gonna go through different environments. Hey, can you do this outside the paddock? And maybe can we do this in the forest? Do you recognize this movement? I'm gonna go through that process, and I'm also gonna go through the process. This often happens in the riding arena, where I shift position so that riding, when I'm actually sitting on my horse, it's just another position. We already have the tools we need to do it from several other positions. And even if you don't fully work with all the positions that I just said, it's still a very good habit to teach the horse. How does this work from the ground? How can I prepare you for my weight when I'm gonna sit on you in a very seamless way? How the rein aids will work, and checking their strength, of course. So in part 3, we will look more into the riding part, and where we actually sit on our horse. And well, I guess we can question, leave it open. Do we actually need the rein aids? But let's see what we say about that next time.